2 old guys, the records, 1 old guy for now, as Mike and I decide when we'll return to the studio. Until then, we press on to provide you with some fun segments about our love and our passion for our favourite records. Welcome to Friday Faves, where I delve deep into my collection, my singles collection, to discover or rediscover some gems. And today's episode is definitely one of those gems. I can't wait. I'm very sentimental because this band was the first hard rock band that I got into. Yes, during their time, they were pushing boundaries. They're regarded as, one of those proto-metal bands that, yes, they laid the foundations with a couple of other bands, the groundwork for heavy metal. So yes, I'm talking about... You better close your eyes. Deep Purple, yes, Deep Purple, yes, Deep Purple. A bit of background, but we could spend all day and all night talking about their history because they're an amazing band, a great band. But let's briefly talk about, they had different formations. Mark 1 had, of course, the trio, Richie Blackmore on guitar, Ian Pace on drums, and of course, John Lord on keyboards. But the singer was different. They had Rod Evans and they had on bass Nick Simper. Now, they released 3 albums and a couple of minor hits, cover versions of Hush and Kentucky Woman, but they weren't sort of really getting anywhere. And it was after an American tour where Pace, Blackmore and Lord got together and said, look, we can't go on with this, we want a heavier sound. At one point I think Richard Blackmore said they wanted to sort of emulate Vanilla Fudge, that psych hard rock sort of sound. But anyway, so yes, they sort of wanted to go forward into this hard rock scene, and of course they recruited Ian Gillan, Mr. Wonderlungs himself, and Roger Glover on bass. Right, so that's Mark 2, and their first thing that they released was a cover version again by Cook and Cook called Hallelujah. And then with John Lord's encouragement, they record a concerto for group and orchestra. Yes, at the Royal Albert Hall with the Royal Symphonic Orchestra. Yes, so it was one of the first collaborations between rock and of course orchestra. Now, yes, it was something very, very different and got a lot of attention, but as Blackmore said later, I didn't want to be known as the band that was with the orchestra. So he took the reins and said, we're going to make up for this by creating this heavy, fast, hard rock album, and they did. Yes, the concert was fine, but they moved on and they made up for it with the album, of course, In Rock. That is one of the foundations of hard rock and heavy metal, as I said earlier. But we're going to look at this single that actually was part of those sessions, but didn't actually make the album. And it's their biggest hit in Great Britain. I'm talking about... Black Knight, yes. With a flip side, Speed King on the Harvest label, which was EMI's sub-label for prog rock, yes. And like I said, it went number 2 in Great Britain, number 1 in Switzerland, and number 4 in Ireland. So yes, an unexpected hit for Deep Purple. Now, such an iconic song, there's so much to love about it. But let's have a look at a bit of background for it. How did it come about? Because it was done after the In Rock sessions, when management said, we can't hear a single in this album. You need to come up with a single. And Deep Purple were not a singles band. So they spent one afternoon, trying to write this riff, and it just couldn't happen. And then they went to the pub and came back late at night, and Richie Blackmore got the riff, yes. And I must say it was inspired by Ricky Nelson's rocky version of a Gershwin song, Summertime. And the title Black Knight comes from Arthur Alexander's song, Black Knight 2, right? So a lot of this is, inspired by others. Like I said, there's so much to like. I think, Ian Pace in an Uncut magazine interview later said, the lyrics are simple, the riff is very catchy, the drumming is insane, but it was just that moment in time where creativity brought everything together and they came up with this gem. What I love about this single is everything, yes, but I love the middle section where you've got the guitar solo from Richie Blackmore and you've got John Lord's organ playing parallel to each other. It's just this beautiful, beautiful combination there, and like I said, Richie Blackmore's outro is amazing, and of course Ian Pace's drumming is just incredible too. So yes, but I want to talk also about Speed King, because Speed King is part of the sessions for In Rock. They actually wrote it on the first day of those sessions, so it just came about very quickly. You know, Ian Gillan was inspired by Little Richard's songs, and that's why, you know, a lot of his Golly Miss Molly is, you know, in the lyrics. Lucille's in the lyrics. Tutti Frui's in the lyrics, of course. Yes, it is such a fast song. I love the, you know, Richie Blackmore's whammy bar intro. It is insane, and then it dies down for the organ of John Lord, and you think you're in church, and then when Ian Pace's drumming kicks in, it is a speaking. It is such a fast song. You know, is this thrash back in the early 70s? You know, thrash metal, yes, right. But it is. It's great. It's great. It's a great song. It's all the band running at 100 miles per hour, like the song title says. It is a speaking. And like I said, I love when Blackmore does his solo and then John Lord does his organ. And live, there's a lot of ad-libbing between the two in the song where one competes with the other. It would be amazing live, but on the single, it's amazing equally, yes. So great double single, Black Knight, and then Speed King by one of the greatest hard rock bands ever, Deep Purple. Did you like Deep Purple? You know, did you like Black Knight? Did you like Speed King? Did you buy In Rock? Yes, In Rock. Tell us all about it. You know, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You know, send in through your comments, and I'll see you next Friday with another Friday Faves. Yes, see you then.